Hello, everyone. My name is Julie Adams. I'm Senior Vice President at Sage, responsible for the construction and real estate portfolio and solutions. So I am really happy to be here today. The topic of the day is really, we're going to talk about um, building a solid technology foundation that not only delivers ROI immediately, but also positions you for future growth and future success. I am joined today by Matt Abels, Vice President of Construction Technology and Innovation at Associated of Builders and Contractors. And then we also have Cassie Schwobel, Executive Vice President at Synergy Built, a full-service GC based in Nashville, Tennessee. So thank you both for being here. Really appreciate your time. And I want to start things off with our first question. Okay, our first question is really around, I want to talk, before we get into the technology, I want to talk about the why. Why are construction companies out there looking for newer technologies? What are they trying to achieve? What's driving that change? I mean, construction companies have a bit of a reputation for being slower in terms of adopting newer technology. So why now? And where is that sense of urgency coming from? And what's causing it to happen now? So Matt, given your background, you really bring an industry level perspective to the conversation. So can you start by introducing yourself a little bit and your company, and then share your insights about what's driving the construction companies to adopt these newer technologies?
Yeah, so for Associated Builders and Contractors, as Vice President of Construction Technology Innovation, my job is to make sure that contractors understand how technology is going to help them be safer, more profitable, and help them win more work. And for us, we're very diverse in size and type of contractor. We are, we very much mirror the demographics of the construction industry, and that we are mostly comprised of small and mid-sized contractors. And when you look at technology as a whole, right now there is a significant labor shortage. So right now, 439,000 people are needed to finish the work in the United States over the next 12 months. And if you look at, some of the individuals who are retiring, the next generation grew up on more technology than the previous one. So they are more attuned to not just using iPads and cell phones. The devices are getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And I think we are actually a very innovative industry. We just don't do the best job of telling the story sometimes. But, you look at what's going on with artificial intelligence, robotics, drones, the data's there, and it shows that we are investing in technology more than ever. But, to your initial point, we are using technology to help be more efficient and do the things that I'm here for, to make sure we're more efficient, make sure we're more profitable, doing just more with less. We're being more data-driven as as an association, or I'm sorry, as an industry. And I'm encouraged by the data that I've seen from our members in increased usage in things like project management tools, drones, robotics, artificial intelligence, tool tracking, equipment tracking. You see a lot of things going up. The trick becomes there is about, my estimate, 5,000 technology companies that impact construction. So it's navigating through that. And one of the things that we're doing at ABC is we're making sure that there's never a perfect science, but we're at least going through and saying, okay, what are the technologies that our members need that are going to be most valuable to them? Who are the best partners? So Sage is one of our premier Tech Alliance partners. And who are the ones that are going to help us do the things we need to? Be safer, be more profitable, win more work, and be the greatest industry in the world.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that industry level perspective. That's really, really helpful. So I want to switch over to you, Cassie. So as an EVP at a GC company, I know that you've gone through a technology shift recently. So share with us a little bit about you and your company, and then also what drove you to adopt these newer technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. So as the EVP of Synergy Built, I'm responsible for that strategy and business operations. And it's my goal to always make sure we're doing things in the most efficient way possible, not only for our clients and our customers, but for our employees. And technology plays a huge part in that. And so whenever I started, our accounting system was the most archaic thing I have ever seen in my entire life. It was clunky. You had to open 17 different screens to paint one picture. And we really didn't have a construction management software. We were operating out of OneDrive, Excel sheets. People were stuffing receipts in their pockets and dumping them on my desk, and that just slows down operations in a way that doesn't allow us to scale and grow. So one of the very first things I did was get the key players in the room and say, hey, what do you need a software to do? What's going to make your life easier? How can we get there? And then I started researching. I was a little biased because I'd used Sage Intacct at a previous company. And so obviously that was my first call. But we were pleasantly surprised to see that, since I had used Sage, you guys had rolled out the construction management piece of things, which allowed us to basically have a one-stop shop. We did our due diligence. We researched other, softwares, like Matt mentioned, it is overwhelming at times. There's a lot of shiny things out there, and you really have to have a plan to focus on what your business goals are and find a solution that fits that. And so, once we sat down and decided what our needs were, Sage fit that. It checked all the boxes, and we quickly saw that return, like you mentioned, a quick ROI, not just financially, but in productivity, being able to, instead of take multiple pieces of information and create a story, we could click a button that would tell us that same story. So it's been incredible for us. It's been, really life-giving to our employees who feel like they have some time back on their hands instead of just a bunch of admin work and trying to piece a lot of things together.
That's fantastic. That's really great. Now, you both mentioned the challenges associated with actually figuring out what you need and what to buy. I mean, I think that the great news is construction tech is kind of hot. I mean, there's a lot of different companies out there. There are a lot of innovations out there. And a lot of investment, I think, in terms of where we're going with this, because I think that everyone sees that it has such a huge opportunity to kind of up-level the entire industry to that next level. But the flip side of that, as you both mentioned, is that there's a lot of stuff out there. Like, how do you make sense out of it? You have companies that do end-to-end solutions. You have solutions that do finance. You have solutions that do HR payroll for construction. You have operational solutions as well as pre-con solutions. And not all companies fit in one box. And some of them provide elements of many of those, and some of them go deep in one particular area. And one of the things that I've noticed as I talk to customers is that they want to simplify, right? They want to have more from fewer suppliers or solution providers so that they have that one throat to choke, they know that these things all work together, etc. But at the same time, I think that technology is evolving so fast and the innovations are I mean, there's some really amazing things going on. So you always want to be in a position to kind of take advantage of some of that innovation that's happening, either at your supplier or maybe throughout the ecosystem. And so there's this yin yang of, I want it all from one, but I want like choice.